Good morning, all. Today we will study about the Hadoop framework for data-intensive distributed computing. And in this way, we will complete our Unit 5 today. No, sorry, I think one topic is more, that is AWS. So we will study tomorrow on the Sunday, or otherwise we will study on the Monday. Now, the question is, what is Hadoop? A Hadoop is I think we have studied this topic before in the unit first or second. I think we have explained it in this, but today let us again revise it, or because it is again in the unit fifth. Now, what is Hadoop? Hadoop is a software framework for distributed processing of large data set across large cluster of computers. It is an open source implementation for Google MapReduce. Hadoop is based on simple programming model called MapReduce. It is based on simple data model that any data can fit here. Means small data can also fit here, or big data can also fit here. Hadoop framework consists of two main layers. That is the distributed file system, HDFS, and second is the execution engine, that is the MapReduce here. You can see the figure there. There is a master and there is a slave, and both of you when combined, we say it's a multi-node cluster. There is a task, there's a task tracker, which is a MapReduce layer, and there is a HDFS layer, that is a node name or data node, that we will see in the next slide. Okay. Now Hadoop infrastructure. What is Hadoop infrastructure? Hadoop is a distributed system like a distributed database. However, there are several key differences between the two infrastructure, and these key infrastructures basically consist of a data model. There are two data models are different. How they are different in computing model, how they are different in the cost model, and what are the different types of design. Let us study about how they differ in data model. So how the data model is different. Now you can see in the figure. I've tried to explain clearly that distributed database on the left hand side and Hadoop figure on the right hand side. You can see that distributed database basically deals with the tables and the relations, which must have some schema for the database, for the data. Here, data fragmentation and partitioning is done in database. There in the Hadoop, you can see that it is divided into three parts. That is a data, there is a cluster, and then we get a result. Here, it deals with the flat files in any format. There is no schema for the data, and files are divided automatically into blocks. Now, how the computing model is different. Computing model means how the computing is done in distributed database and in Hadoop. In a distributed database, you can see that suppose there is a consistent state 1. So you can see the process that some process is done, that is a state transitions by insert, update, and delete. And there are some intermediate states, and then they give the rollback or a error or the failure or the feedback back to the consistent state 1. Then after the completion of the whole state, the commitment, then commit, then the consistent state 2 start. There is a notion of a transaction. There is a transaction properties of acid, and we can see the distributed transaction. Whereas in the Hadoop, you can see that sorry, when there are service, there are two users, user 1 and a user 2. They started a job 1 and started a job 2. Here mapping is done. Then after completion of mapping, the reduction or the reduce is done. And then we get a output there. And both the output is combined and we will get the result. Means here the notion of a job is we divide it into tasks. Map reducing computing model means we are doing some mapping, then we are doing the reducing that we will see in the next slide. Then every task is either map or a reduce. Now let us see the Hadoop, how overview of a Hadoop. You can see the architecture of the Hadoop here. HDFS plus MapReduce are enough to have things working. Here you can see that there is a high level languages there, big cascading high that we will see the next slide. There is a MapReduce function that is the execution engine that is known as. That is a distributed lightweight database that is HBase. Then after HBase there is a Hadoop DFS that is a distributed file system. There are some tools for the coordination and they are known as Kata applications or Zookeepers, etc. So this is the overall the architecture, or there is an overall overview of the Hadoop. Now, in the next slide, let's understand what is HDFS, that is Hadoop Distributed File System. In the figure, you can see that there is a data nodes below here. There is a block replication, there is a name node, and the name node means it contains the name, different names, means single name node and many data nodes. A name node maintains the file system and the metadata. Here it contains the files that are split into the fixed size blocks and stored at data nodes. By default, it is 64 MB data. These data blocks are replicated for fault tolerance and fast access. That is 3 nodes, basically 3 data nodes. Default is 3 blocks are taken. Data nodes periodically send heartbeats to name node. Here the data node send the heartbeats to the name node. So here HDFS is a master slave architecture. There is a master, the name node, and slave is the data nodes. Here next figure you can again see that there is a client, that is a rack 1, this is a rack 2, and the client is reading the data. Name node is there with the metadata, etc. So default placement policy is that where to put a given block. First copy is written to the node creating the file. The first copy is creating the file. Second copy is written to the data node within the same rack. And the third copy is written to the data node in the different rack. Means here the replication, or again it is a copy. Objective is for doing this type of work is to balance the load balancing, or fast access and fault tolerance. Now let us study about map reduce layer. What is a map reduce layer? Basically, it is the main execution layer in Hadoop which performs the map reduce. You can see the figure. There is a one job tracker name node here, the task tracker, the data node here, the task tracker data node here, the Hadoop data node 1, Hadoop data node 2. Here it is divided into two parts, the map reduce layer, HDFS layer. The job tracker knows everything about submitted job. Means the job or the command or the work that you have submitted, the job tracker knows what he has to do. He divides the job into tasks and decide where to run each task. It is a function of a job tracker it divides the jobs. It continuously communicate with the task trackers. वो इन दोनों टास्क ट्रैकर्स से जो हडूप के डेटा नोड्स हैं उन पे डायरेक्ट कम्युनिकेशन करता रहता है. सेकंड, द टास्क ट्रैकर execute the task means multiple per node. Every node there are multiples. It monitors the execution of each task. It also monitors the execution of each task, continuously sending feedback to the job tracker. It continuously send feedback to the job trackers. This is all about execution layer. Here every data node is running a task tracker. Means for every data node there is a task tracker. So here we can say that the master is a job tracker and slave is the task tracker, and about 100 seconds to 100,000 seconds of task trackers are there. Now let us understand the Hadoop computing model. Two main phases are here, that is the map and second is the reduce. Any job is converted into map and reduce task. The developers need only to implement the map and reduce classes. You can see the data flow here. Means blocks of the input file in HDFS. Then map task, one of for each block. Then we can see it's a reduced task. Your task is reduced. Then output is written to HDFS and we get the data. Here in between there is a shuffling and the sorting. Now Hadoop computing model. Mapper and reducers consume and produce key value pairs. User defines the data type of the key and the value. Now in the previous figure you have seen that there is a shuffling and a sorting phase also. Map output is shuffled such that all same key records go to the same reducer, and each reducer may receive multiple key sets also. Each reducer sorts its record to the group similar keys, then process each group. In this figure you can see that there are multiple records. So this our map task is given here, then they shuffle the sort, then they reduce it, they can record. Let us see with an example here. For example, the word count. Suppose there is a job that is count the occurrence of each word in a data set. Suppose we have taken here the 5 words, 6 words: apple, orange, mango, orange, grapes, plum. Means 2 times orange is coming. Here in the next data set, you have 2 times, 3 times apple is coming, plum is coming 2 times, mango. We can see that there are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 plum and there are 4 mangoes. So here we see this data set has given the data to here. Each line is passed individual mapper. Here mapper comes, the map value comes, the apple comes 1, orange comes 1, mango comes 1. Here orange come 1, grapes come 1, plum comes 1. Here the data sets are taken, then it is sorting in shuffle. Means apple comes in the one set, grapes in a one set, mango here, orange here, plum here. We find there are apple 4, grapes 1, mango 2, orange 2, plum 3. And finally we will get the output that there are 4 apples in a data set, 4, 1 grapes, 2 mangoes, orange and the plum 3. And with this figure you can easily understand how the MapReduce work for word count. In the same way, all the different tasks are done. Reduce case is optional. Jobs can be map only. Now joining two large data sets. Suppose there are two big data sets, and we want to join in using in Hadoop. And how it is done? Here you can see that HDFS stores data blocks here. This mapping is done here. Each mapping after completion of the sorting and shuffling is done here, and then you can see that reducer reduces all this, and it performs, basically it performs the join command here. Means joining is done here. Again, large data set with a small data set B. Here again you can see that SDF stores the data blocks. Mapping is done, and every map task process one block from A and entire B. Means every map task performs the join, that is map only job. Avoid the shuffling and reduce expensive. Here we can avoid shuffling. Okay. Now Hadoop fault tolerance. Suppose some fault occurs in during the process, then how the fault tolerance Hadoop tolerated. Now intermediate data between mappers and reduce are materialized to simple and straightforward fault tolerance. What if a task fail? Map or reduce? Here the task tracker detects the failure, send the message to the job tracker. The job tracker reschedules the task. Means if a task fails, then the task tracker plays a role here. Now suppose if the data node, at the data node it fails, then both the name node and the job tracker detects the failure. Then all tasks on the failed node are again rescheduled, and the name node replicates the user's data to another node. Now, what happens if a name node or a job tracker fails? Then nothing. The entire cluster is down, and we again have to process everything again. Now, just let us recall it. Any data will fit in Hadoop. So, how does Hadoop understand and read the data? User plugins class, that is input format, all input format. Each record is passed to the mapper for processing. Here it is again. Let us revise it. Hadoop provides built-in input formats for reading text sequences. The same for writing output formats also. Input formats can do a lot of magic to change the job behavior here. Now back to joining large and small data sets. Now this is all, again it is revised. Now let us understand what are the different languages that Hadoop support. Hadoop support Java. Also it supports the high level languages like Hive, Pig and JQL. The Hive is used by Facebook, PIG, Pig is used by Yahoo, and